We are starting our final round. Talia is up, Carolyn's on deck. Talia is doing 5-1, 2-2D. Forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Awards. Four and a half, 5, 4.5, 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5. Carolyn is up, Danielle's on deck. Carolyn's doing 5-1, 2-2D. Forward, 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Awards. Five, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 4.5. Danielle is up, Kara's on deck. Danielle's doing 203C. Back, 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0. Awards. Five and a half, 5, 5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. Kara's up, Julia's on deck. Kara's doing 5-1, 3-2D. Forward, 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. Awards. Five and a half, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Julia's up, Carrie's on deck. Julia's doing 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5. Awards. Six and a half, 6, 6, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6. Carrie's on deck, or Carrie's up, Sydney's on deck. Carrie's doing 103C. Forward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Awards. Six and a half, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5. Sydney's up, Carly's on deck. Sydney's doing 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5. Awards. Eight and a half, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Carly's out, Tess is on deck. Carly's doing 5-1, 3-2D. Forward, 1.5 somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. Awards. Six and a half, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 5.5. Tess is up, Marissa's on deck. Tess is doing 401C, inward dive tuck, 1.4. Awards. 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, 6, 6 and a half, 5 and a half. Marissa is up, Karen's on deck. Marissa's doing 5132D. Forward 1 and a half somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. Awards. Five, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 5, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half. Karen is up, Stephanie's on deck. Karen's doing 5, 1, 1, 1B. Forward dive, half twist pike, 1.7. Awards. Four and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 5, 4 and a half. Stephanie is up, Sarah's on deck. Stephanie's doing 103B. Forward 1 and a half somersault pike, 1.7. Awards. 6 and a half, 6, 6, 6, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, 6 and a half. Sarah's up, McKenna's on deck. Sarah's doing 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5. Awards. Four and a half, 5, 5, 4 and a half, 5, 5, 4 and a half. McKenna is up, Gabriella's on deck. McKenna's doing 5, 2, 2, 1D. Back 1 somersault, half twist free, 1.7. Awards. Four and a half, 6, 5, 5 and a half, 5, 5 and a half, 4 and a half. Gabriella's up, Annalise is on deck. Gabriella's doing 103B. Forward 1 and a half somersault pike, 1.7. Awards. Five, 5, 5, 4 and a half, 5, 5 and a half, 5. Annalise is up, Julia's on deck. Annalise is doing 5, 1, 2, 2D. Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Awards. Six, 5, 5 and a half, 6 and a half, 5 and a half, 6, 5 and a half. Julia is up, Sarah's on deck. Julia is doing 5, 1, 3, 2D. Forward 1 and a half somersault, 1 twist free, 2.2. Awards. 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4, 4.5. Sarah's up, Christy's on deck. Sarah's doing 402C. Inward, 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Awards. Seven, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5.5. Christy is up, Rainey's on deck. Christy's doing 5-1-2-4D, forward 1 somersault, double twist free, 2.3. Awards. Three, 2, 3.5, 3.5, 4.5, 3.5, 3.5. Rainey's up, Delaney's on deck. Rainey's doing 302C. Reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. Awards. Six, 5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 5. Delaney is up, Kevin's on deck. Delaney's doing 5-1-2-2-D. Forward 1 somersault, 1 twist free, 1.9. Awards. Five and a half, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 4.5.
Sixth place with 170.15 points from Script Trans, Annalise Provenzano. And then in fifth place with 177.30 points from Rancho Bernardo, Marissa Contreras. In fourth place with 200.15 points from Granite Hills High School, Sydney Jarbo. In third place with 202.55 points from Helix Charter High School, Kara Justinson. In second place with 212.45 points from Granite Hills High School, Danielle McCabe. And your 2014 champion with a score of 261.75 points from Rancho Bernardo High School, Carly Joy.